situation where you don't know what you're going to do. There's, rumors of having tryouts. I mean, that's something that I don't think anybody is prepared for in a scenario like that, of what you do. And with the transfer portal, and this is something that you think of maybe in 2020, a COVID year. I mean, it's just very, very bizarre and unfortunate.
Right, and TCU, of course, has a new head coach this season. Mountaineers are 14-2 overall, 3-2 in the conference. They're looking for win number 4 in the Big 12 against Houston. Second half starts next.
Climb to the top, yeah. You'll find anywhere else.
Mountaineers, and especially all J.J. Quinterly on the offensive end.
Yeah, a bit of a J.J. Quinterly highlight reel, just showing where she can score, how she can score from all 3 levels of the floor. She had a mid-range jumper. She gets to the rack easily. And West Virginia doing a great job of getting inside, outside, making that extra pass. And why not let J.J. hit a 3?
Nothing new for the Mountaineers. Quinterly is, of course, their leading scorer, top 5 in the Big 12, averaging 18 points per game. She's coming off a 21-point outing against the UCF Knights on the road. And she just picked up her 1,000th career point, becoming the 40th 1,000-point scorer in West Virginia history. Do want to quickly clarify something. Quinterly does have 10 points. She was credited with 12. That was changed at halftime. A Lauren Fields bucket was credited to Quinterly. So JJ's got 10. Fields has 5. But the real story, Meg, I think we'll agree, is West Virginia's defensive efforts. The Cougars were held scoreless in the first quarter, held to just 8 points in the second quarter. They did not score in the final 5 minutes, 18 seconds of that second period, going 0 for 7 in that stretch and committing 5 turnovers.
Yeah, Houston only shooting 11% from the field. I mean, that's just unbelievable. And they've gotten only 4 less shots than West Virginia, so I think West Virginia's defense, they're just making them uncomfortable. They're forcing quick shots. They're getting looks. It's just not the looks they're used to, and I think you can tell that they're uncomfortable when they're shooting the basketball.
Teams have switched sides. Houston in black with red trim, West Virginia in all white with blue trim. Mountaineers nearly had their 9th steal of the ball game to begin this half. Up and in for Bria Patterson down low for the Cougars. That's her first bucket. Original starters on the floor for West Virginia. Quinterly running the point and running into trouble. She's got to get it across, and she does. Jordan Harrison, Kyle Watson, Kylie Blackston, and Lauren Fields also on the court as the Mountaineers turned it over. Nia Boyd's 3-pointer rolls off the rim. Rebounded by Quinterly. Here's Watson, who had 4 points in the first half, to Jordan Harrison, who had a deuce as well, and now Fields. Here's Harrison again, kicking to Blackston for 3. Yes! The 6'3" senior, a 34% 3-point shooter, has her first triple of the night.
Yeah, we talked about J.J. Quinterly being able to score from all 3 levels. Kylie Blackston showing that a little bit here tonight. She was able to take it off the bounce, hitting a 3. But West Virginia's doing a really nice job of moving the basketball as well.
Here's Jordan Harrison, who runs into contact and is fouled by Nia Boyd, her first person. Patterson, Boyd, Malia Johnson, Layla Blair, and Cameron Jones on the floor for the Cougars.
And right out of, I thought halftime, Houston showed a glimpse of what they are capable of. They had some nice interior passing, got a good layup, and then they were able to get into that pressure. And I think that Cameron Jones does a really nice job. They had a steal but didn't convert on the offensive end of that. But you kind of saw what they're trying to do, and it's in there. But as we mentioned, the talent level and the step into Big 12 is just a little too much right now.
West Virginia leads the nation in steals and is top 5 in the nation in turnovers forced per game. Mountaineers on pace to meet their averages in those categories. Also number 1 in the country in turnover margin. It's a tough take from Jordan Harrison, who earns a chance to go to the free throw line.
I love that from the point guard. It's almost as if sometimes she needs to prove, hey, I can get to the rim. I'm tough too. And get to she just has that look of determination on her face because she does such a great job of penetrating and pitching and creating for her teammates that I'd love to see her get rewarded from time to time as well.
This is Harrison at the free throw line. top 10 in the Big 12 in terms of free throw shooting percentage this season. By the way, that is Layla Blair's fourth personal, so she goes to the bench once again. Foul trouble has been a huge issue for Houston's leading scorer tonight. Harrison in and out. It's 39-10 Mountaineers after Jordan Harrison goes 1 for 2 from the line. Just over 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Boyd trying to slash her way through the defense, has it stolen away. 15 turnovers for the Houston Cougars. Quick passing between the guards for West Virginia. Quinterly almost lost it, but kept her composure. She's got a dozen.
Yeah, the lane was way too wide open for JJ not to get that ball back and go up with it. And West Virginia's defense, you're seeing Houston try to go one-on-one. There is no need for West Virginia to hang out. You can help defense all day, and that's what's creating some turnovers and these extra steals, because you don't need to hang out and have help defense. You can help defense, you don't need to hang on your player, and that's creating a lot more turnovers for Houston.
Rebound by Brittany Onyejay. She almost got Malia Johnson on the low block, but it was touched out of bounds by the Cougars. Clock stops with just over 7.5 to go in the third quarter. Mountaineers lead by 31, 41-10. West Virginia with 6 unanswered points. Meanwhile, the Cougars haven't scored in the last 2+ minutes. Another scoring drought for Houston. 0 for 4 during that stretch. Fields will restart it with a floated pass to Jordan Harrison. Harrison against Patterson. Good finish with the right hand. 43-10 with just over 7 to go in the third quarter. It's an 8-0 Mountaineer run. Johnson to Boyd at the flying WV. Working off a screen from Jones. Boyd, that's a tough shot. What a finish from Nia Boyd, the 5'6" grad student, for her first basket.
Nia Boyd, more of a playmaker that's going to lead the team in assists, but she's had to take the brunt of a lot of the offensive duty here tonight, especially with Blair on the bench. Nice take from Harrison again. That right block area been a little bit of a sweet spot here for her early in the second.
45-12 the score. West Virginia still with a healthy lead with 6:25 to go. Difficult situation here for the Cougars. They'll break the press. Patterson off the glass. 45-14 West Virginia. Meg, when you spoke with Coach Kellogg at halftime, he said that he wasn't necessarily thrilled with West Virginia's offensive execution. Does it seem like it's intentional how West Virginia is trying to get inside every possession?
Oh, absolutely. And as we go inside yet again here from Kylie Blackson, yeah, I think that's exactly what it wants to work on. And I know that you had asked him earlier in the week, too, as Boyd is going to get the offensive foul there. Nice take from Jordan Harrison. Me to ask him, are you shooting too many threes? And they were. That's what they were trying to rely on. I thought at Iowa State, at Central Florida, I thought they did a better job of that. But right now, you can tell it is absolutely intentional to get the ball inside. And that's what Houston's giving them, too. They have the lane, but they're doing a nice job of penetrating, pitching, but also trying to work inside and stay aggressive.
Mountaineers lead 45-14 with about 5:40 to go. In that game against Iowa State, which West Virginia lost by 10, the Mountaineers shot 43 three-pointers, which is a program record. Tie-up on the baseline. Mountaineers will keep possession here. West Virginia led by 19 in that game with Iowa State. Wound up losing by double digits. And that's a game that seems to be very significant in the Big 12 standings. The Cyclones are one of just 2 teams unbeaten in the league. Meanwhile, West Virginia picked up its second loss in conference. Mountaineers are 3-2, looking to go 4-2 in the Big 12. But had they been able to get that result, that really would have changed the standings, the picture of the standings, I should say, as Watson fouls a Cougar going to the basket. Free throws coming here for the visitors.
Yeah, and you saw West Virginia, as you mentioned, that Iowa State game. That's a nice take. That's exactly what Houston has to keep doing. Stay aggressive, try to pass over that pressure, and just get to the lane, try to draw some fouls. You're not going to be able to stand outside and shoot against West Virginia.
First free throw is good from Bria Patterson, who scored her 1,000th point against TCU, 30th Cougar in program history to score 1,000 or more as we look at the top half of the Big 12 standings.
And we talk about Houston. That's what's been tough. They've already played, Baylor, Kansas State, now here in Morgantown. That's a tough opening few games there for Houston.
That's Jones who's fouled on the low block. More free throws coming from the Cougars. To continue that thought, Meg, Houston's wins came against BYU, a newcomer, and TCU, a team that's just had to forfeit its next 2 games. Patterson tried to swipe the rebound, but it's possession for West Virginia. Meanwhile, Kansas State and Iowa State today improved to 6-0 in the conference by default. That's TCU's next 2 opponents, or would have been TCU's next 2 opponents, the Wildcats and Cyclones. Blackston looking for a guard. Good pressure here from the Cougars. Harrison had to get it across the timeline and somehow did so. Blackston draws the foul. And that'll bring us to a timeout. All West Virginia at home is...
Are you comfortable? Absurdly comfortable. At Bombas, we're obsessed with comfort, quality, movement. Socks, tees, underwear. Because your basic things should be your best things. As always, one purchased equals one donated. Visit bombas.com and get 20% off your first order.
At Marshall's, our buyers go to great lengths to find you great deals on great quality products.
All for the love of soccer.
Keep playing, all right? Come on. We don't have any transition. Good. Let's just go 13. Yeah.
Inside the Cougars huddle with head coach Ron Huey, the 3rd winningest coach in Houston women's basketball history. His squad trails West Virginia 45-15 in the 4th all-time meeting between these 2 programs. The first since the 2010-11 season, and the first as members of the Big 12 Conference. Nick Farrell and Meg Bulger here with you on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. West Virginia's Kylie Blackston at the free throw line. She hits the first of 2 and is now 1 for 2 tonight. Sent there by Malia Johnson, the former Pitt Panther. 9 points for Blackston. Mountaineers go back to their pressure, leading by 32. Quick trigger from Malia Johnson for 3. She's got 6.
Man, and finally the lid comes off of that 3-point mark there for Houston.
Cougars were 0 for 13 before that 3 ball by Johnson. That pass almost tipped by Boyd. Here's Quinterly to the basket. Can't get it to go.
I've seen more than a few of Quinterly's layups tonight kind of really round off around the rim. I don't know if it's just waiting on a foul or not going completely hard enough into the basket. I'm just being nitpicky. I love Quinterly as a player. I'm being Coach Kellogg right now. That's what you have to do, right?
A lot of contact down low. I think it's Blackston who picks up the foul there for West Virginia on the second chance opportunity for the Cougars.
But a much better job of Houston, in particular right there. Cameron Jones just hanging around the basket. That's what you need to do. You got to get those second chance points. Hang around the basket. Good things will come. Follow the ball. You heard Coach Huey say, just keep the energy up. That's what we need. You got to keep playing hard. You can't just completely give up. And to me, their whole energy the second half looks a lot more alive than it did there in the first half. It almost looks a little shell-shocked, to be honest with you, in the first half.
Jones goes 0 for 2 for the Cougars. She's got a team-high 7 rebounds, but just 2 points. West Virginia leading 47-18. Here's Quinterly again in double figures for the 16th time in 17 starts this season. Only time she didn't hit double figures was when she scored 2 points against Charlotte. Blackston has hit another three. Her second of the quarter. She's tied for the team lead in points with a dozen.
Blackston coming off that great game at Iowa State, unfortunately in a loss, but had 16 points, 5 rebounds in that loss.
Mountaineers 4 of 12 from beyond the arc after that Blackston three. Stolen by Quinterly. She's going to take it all the way right down High Street. J.J. Quinterly.
And not that every turnover can't be considered, bad, but there's some that are worse than others, and that's one that's just got to eat Coach Huey alive. I mean, that's just a bad passing, bad spacing. You're leaving it in the air for someone like Quinterly to come and take.
18th Houston turnover. Meanwhile, Boyd does have the answer. Her second field goal of the quarter. Mountaineers began the season with 13 wins in a row in their first campaign under Mark Kellogg. Tripped up against Texas and Iowa State, but bounced back against UCF over the weekend. Fields a three. That's her second of the game. She's got 8 points. It's a 35-point lead for West Virginia, largest of the game. Blackston with the deflection, tips it to Fields. She might go all the way. Quinterly's in there for the rebound, and she's fouled. Clock stops with under 2 minutes to go in the third period.
Lauren Fields, I don't know if that's I think it's just a cramp in her left leg there. She kind of went down.
Well, good catch, Meg. I didn't see that behind the referee there, getting some treatment here.
Yeah, she bounced away after she missed the layup, and Quinterly came out of nowhere for that offensive board, and it looked like it was just a cramp the way that she kind of looked at the trainer. Such a nice hard take, though. That last dribble pounds to the ground, doesn't hit it, but right there after a second, it looks like I don't think she turned anything. It almost looked like it was a cramp right maybe in her calf.
Gatorade in one hand. What has she got in her right hand there? Some hydration helper. I'm not an athletic trainer, so I guess I shouldn't be speculating on
And I
that.
am no longer an athlete for many years, so I'm not sure.
Oh, come on, Meg, not that long ago. One more look at it. Fields, the player for West Virginia, receiving attention. She has 8 points. She's going to go to the bench, walking there on her own power now. As we take a look at the replay, there she is continuing to receive attention. Jayla Hemingway has just replaced her on the court. And J.J. Quinterly makes the first of 2 free throws. She's now got 15. And if you're into stats, the number to watch for J.J. is now 6. She scored 21 or more in half of West Virginia's games this season. 16, the magic number to continue that stat, is now 5. Layla Blair back into the game for Houston. She's got 4 fouls and has spent most of the game by Coach Huey on the bench. That's the first bucket of the game for Shalexis Aaron for the Cougars, who still trail by 35. Quinterly traveled. Might have forced that one.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the only times you see her a little bit out of control and forcing. Usually Quinterly very under control, knows exactly where she's going with the basketball. Not that time.
Mountaineers shooting it well. They get it right back on the steal. Quinterly to Blackston. Another one that goes in and out. And the Cougars give it right back. Aaron threw that one behind Patterson and into the seats. 21 Houston turnovers. West Virginia forces 25 turnovers per game. That's 4th best in the nation. Coach Kellogg faced off against Coach Huey twice in the last 3 seasons when he was the head coach at Stephen F. Austin. And Coach Huey told us he knew exactly what Mark Kellogg's mantra is.
Yep.
And the Mountaineers are executing that on the defensive end tonight. No question. Diggs inside against Diawara, and Diggs wins the duel.
Really nice footwork again from Diggs, knowing, I didn't think it was a great entry pass, but knowing exactly where she was under the basket and where to be.
Anya J splits the double, goes all the way to the cup. Rebound, Kyle Watson for West Virginia. Quinterly, the feed to Diggs, just a little bit strong.
I just looked at the whole entire coaching staff of West Virginia, kind of put their hands on their head after Quinterly made that pass. I just had to laugh. I was like, what are you doing?
Layla Blair inside. Can't get it to drop. Diawara and Diggs tied up. The ball will stay with the Cougars. Blair will restart things. She wants it back in the corner. Hard to find a rhythm for Blair, who has just 3 points. She's coming off a 33-point performance in the win over TCU over the weekend. That's a career high by a wide margin for Blair, the senior from Houston, Texas. Shot clock is dark. Final 10 seconds of the third period. Quinterly inside the Diggs, turns it over again, and that'll do it for our third quarter. West Virginia is cruising to win number 15.
West puts up a three-pointer. It is good. Jared West hits the three-point shot. The West Virginia Mountaineers are going to the Final Four. And it is a great night to be a Mountaineer, wherever you may be.
Proven results stand the test of time. United Bank, West Virginia's bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers.
Hey kids, now's your chance to join the Mountaineer Kids Club. Members receive their very own membership t-shirt with free admission to select WB. Join now for just $25.
Key. That's the 15th Mountaineer turnover. And I think if there is one thing that Coach Kellogg, Meg, would take issue with on offense for West Virginia, would be those 15 turnovers.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And West Virginia has such a great turnover margin. I mean, they force it, but they don't give it up a lot, and that's something that they're certainly going to have to keep an eye on and clean up, especially, and I know that it's sometimes in these games, you try to force a little bit much. That's a nice take inside from Diawara. Yeah, you try to force things, and, you know, even the turnover right there before the start of the fourth quarter, Quinterly's trying to force it into the post. You try to do things that you wouldn't normally do, but that's when Coach Kellogg kind of says, like, well, this isn't the time to play around. We're still building and executing and, you know, building for our next games.
Watson misses the three. Mountaineers are going to keep possession. To your previous point, Meg, West Virginia is still +6 in the turnover margin as the Cougars have turned it over 21 times. Mountaineers also have a dozen steals.
When you force 25 or so turnovers a game, it gives you a little bit of a cushion for that turnover margin, although West Virginia's is still very, very good.
Quick check-in on the Mountaineer men's basketball team in action against nationally ranked Oklahoma in Norman tonight. Mountaineers with an advantage in the first half, 18-12. Note from the truck that Pat Sumnick was at one point leading the team in scoring. That may still be the case. It was during our most recent break. He has 6 points to lead the Mountaineers. What a unique story that is. This team has had so much attrition. Players in and out of the lineup, some not available until as recently as 6 or 7 games ago. Then you lose your big center in Jesse Edwards. Pat Sumnick has come on strong with a career-high 16 to help the Mountaineers upset nationally ranked Texas. Might be doing it again tonight against another ranked team. This is Kyle Watson at the line. She goes 2 for 2, and by the way, Layla Blair, Houston's leading scorer, just fouled out a moment ago, with still about 8:45 to go in this game. 61-24 your score. All Mountaineers tonight. Patterson, long, rebound, Quinterly, she'll push. JJ, off contact, will go to the line. That's the third team foul for Houston in the first 92 seconds of the final quarter.
And again, JJ Quinterly just making it a point to get to the rim. I think she's been extra aggressive tonight in getting to the rim and not settling for jumpers. And as you mentioned, Layla Blair, it was in the first couple of minutes she had that a defensive foul and an offensive foul. Really just going to have to play so cautious the entire game. That is such a struggle, especially when your team is down and you haven't scored and you come in and you're trying to do so much. That's just a recipe for disaster. Just a unlucky break for Layla Blair tonight.
Blair only played 15 minutes, Meg. She averages 28 per game. And for Houston, you could really see in that first half especially that with Blair off the floor, the Cougars has really struggled against West Virginia's pressure and in half-court offensive sets. 5 to shoot. Here's Jones. Tough take. Tipped around and collected by West Virginia. Great feed inside to Blackston. And Kylie Blackston's now up to 14 to complement a game-high 18 for West Virginia's JJ Quinterly.
And that's just the type of defensive transition possession that you can kind of see West Virginia just wearing Houston down. You don't go for a rebound, you miss a shot, everyone just runs down the middle of the floor. Kylie Blackston beats you down the floor for a layup. I mean, that's just depleting, and you can just see West Virginia, they're used to doing this. They do this to teams every single game, and they're just slowly wearing them down. That was the first time I really saw Houston really lack the effort to get back.
JJ Quinterly just picked up her fifth rebound of the game. And she throws that one away. 8 turnovers now for Quinterly. On the other end, Cougars can't connect, and Watson cleans the glass. Quinterly could feed that time to an open Tabby Diggs.
Nice job of being aware from Tabby Diggs on that weak side, sealing her man, still waiting for the opportunity for a pass, and a nice interior dish from Quinterly.
67-24 the score with 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Deflected by Blackston. Diggs takes it away. Hemingway's got to get to it before it crosses the baseline. She does. Left-handed shot is no good. Jones has it. Both teams getting ready to make changes. Patterson is long from the corner. Mountaineers have 4 players getting ready to check in. They've got 5 on the floor, so that's all 9 active Mountaineers. And Coach Kellogg is going to take a timeout with 6:01 left to get those subs in. West Virginia cruising in game number 6 in the Big 12.
Hey, look at this.
What?
Save nearly $750.
Attention, all students. In this game, there's a position for everybody. Okay, going offense, all right? So let's finish. Let's feel good when we go in offense, all right? Let's go.
Excellent access with West Virginia's first-year head coach Mark Kellogg taking us inside the huddle here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Nick Farrell, Meg Bulger here with you. 4th quarter of the 4th all-time meeting between West Virginia and Houston in women's basketball. Mountaineers won the 3 previous games. Just a formality now, the final 6 minutes are, as West Virginia has held a dominant lead throughout this game. A lot of changes before that last stoppage. Danelle Arigbabu's first minutes for West Virginia. Same with Messiah Hunter, also out there for the team in white. Jordan Harrison, Lauren Fields, and Jayla Hemingway as Shalexis Aaron scores. Here's Hunter, now Hemingway with 5.5 to go. Good feed from Hemingway to Hunter, and 1. First basket of the game for the redshirt sophomore from Hopewell, Virginia.
West Virginia's offense reading that extremely well. Houston really gets out in passing lanes, really overplays. Messiah Hunter does a nice job of just coming to that free throw line, cutting hard to the basket, and a nice find getting the N1.
69-26 your score. Did you, Meg? On the other end, deep one from Johnson is short, but it's a putback for the Cougars to make it 69-28. Final 5 minutes now. Harrison to Hemingway. Back to Jordan Harrison. Flips it to Fields. Short corner jumper is good. And Lawrence Fields is the third Mountaineer in double figures with 10. On that last possession for Houston, it was Logan McNeil, the transfer from LSU, who scored her first basket of the game. Here's Aaron with a great behind-the-back dribble. Oh, and they'll count it. Shalexis Aaron with a terrific finish and the foul. She'll go to the line when we come back. West Virginia dominating Houston 71-28.
And spend more time.
Then after that, second meeting with Iowa State, a team that West Virginia lost to on the road earlier this month. Mountaineers surrendered a 19-point advantage in that game and ultimately lost by 10 to an Iowa State team that's undefeated at 6-0 in the Big 12. Mountaineers, sorry, Meg, go ahead.
No, you talk about that Iowa State game. Something, that you can see that they've been working on tonight is getting it into the paint, being more aggressive, trying to get to the free throw line. In the third and fourth quarters of that Iowa State game, they shot 1 of 2 from the free throw line. So, I mean, you're settling for threes. You're not being aggressive getting to the basket at all. To not shoot any free throws in the fourth quarter when you're trying to fight and make a comeback, I mean, that's pretty telling. And they were completely out-rebounded in that game as well. So I think tonight you're seeing really taking advantage of the rebounds from a team from Houston that doesn't rebound the ball extremely well and try to get to the free throw line and stay aggressive. You saw that from all of the guards, I think, tonight as well.
Putback is good from Asia Thompson for Houston. That's her first basket. You mentioned rebound margin. West Virginia +8 on the board, which is solid for a team that has struggled this season in rebounding. In fact, Mountaineers are last in the Big 12 in team rebounding, and near the bottom of the conference in rebounding margin. Rejected by Johnson as Fields tried to go to the basket. Possession stays with WVU.
And stats don't lie. I mean, they're a guard-heavy, guard-oriented team. The way they force turnovers, get steals, that's a lot of the guard play, and a lot of that compensates for not having a true 5 and a consistent 5 inside. And the stats are telling with that, with the rebounding and the way that the guards are able to force steals. You can cover that up for so long, but in tight games, when you get rebounds, all right, Jordan Harrison, talked me right out of my thought with a deep 3 at the shot clock.
How about that reaction from the bench? That says it all. They're having fun tonight.
Great.
After the 3 ball from Harrison, the Mountaineers are doubling up. More than doubling up. Houston 74-32. Aaron now has 8 points.
And certainly you heard Coach Kellogg say at halftime, there's things as a coach that you want to clean up and you're never going to like, and they'll find that in film, I'm sure, tomorrow. There's going to be a foul on Houston here, but as a team and just mentally and for your confidence and to relax a little bit, it is so nice to occasionally have these type of games because they're few and far between, as we know in the Big 12. So to be able to kind of sit back, and as much as Coach Kellogg, I'm sure, he looks deep in thought right now, I'm sure, and I know that. However, it is nice to just be able to sit back and take a breath and be excited for your teammates. And you might see a little more turnovers because you're trying different things, when you're up this much, but you got to really enjoy games like this because they don't come around often.
Harrison made the first and the second. She's got a dozen, 4 Mountaineers in double figures. And by the way, that's now 13 straight games with 10 points or more for Jordan Harrison, the sophomore point guard from Oklahoma City.
West Virginia showing a little bit of zone for the first time I've seen tonight.
Aaron fires. Rebound Cougars, but the Cougar who scooped up the board stepped out of bounds. So it'll be West Virginia ball here. By the way, Meg, I want to make sure we quickly mention Kaya Watson's performance tonight for West Virginia. She's on the bench and her day is likely done. A quiet 6 and 10 from Watson. You know, you mentioned the rebounding a moment ago as Harrison travels and turns it over. Watson is a 5'10 redshirt junior guard who essentially has had to play the 4 every night for West Virginia. Leads the team in rebounding with about 5.5 per game. Came away with 10 rebounds tonight against Houston.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she's kind of that unsung hero.
Basket
Nice
in the
take
foul
there.
for Malia Johnson.
But Kai Watson, I just describe her as she's that you always got to have a Kai Watson. She's consistent. You know exactly what you're getting from her every single night. She's not going to make too many mistakes where you notice what's going on with her or where you have to pull her. She's just going to be consistent. She's going to do the right things. And you love a player like Kai Watson on your team.
Johnson completes the three-point play. Junior from Columbus, Ohio. 76-37. West Virginia has enjoyed this sizable lead since the end of the first quarter. Mountaineers shut out Houston. Ended the first period with a 17-0 lead. And it's been all West Virginia ever since. Hemingway to the bucket. Left-handed layup is good. Mountaineers have 4 players in double figures, but both Diggs and Hemingway have 8. Hemingway's on the floor at the moment, just scored. Johnson for 3, no good. Good box out by Danelle Arikbabu.
It sure was. That's textbook exactly what you need to do every single possession right there. Nice find underneath. Wide open, Messiah Hunter.
Finished by Hunter for her second field goal. I wouldn't be surprised here in the final 90 seconds, Meg, if the Mountaineers try to find Arikbabu. They have 9 active players. 8 of them have scored tonight. The only one who hasn't is Arikbabu, the junior from Berlin, Germany.
And she's really progressed, I think, the last few games. Her minutes have gone up a bit, and I think she's showing a lot of steps and growth the last couple of games. And they've got to find a post, especially as they go later on here in this Big 12 conference play.
High-low action. Arikbabu just can't corral it. But it did go right to her. But it's effectively West Virginia's 20th turnover of the game.
And just being a non-player and having stepped away from the game and being nitpicky at this stage, something that I do think the Mountaineers need to work on a little bit is their entry passes. They've been a little off tonight looking to get the ball into the post. Houston's done a nice job of being up the lane and really using their length to make the passes difficult, but the angles haven't been there.
Good
Nice
finish
take.
by Cameron Jones. Final minute of this one. West Virginia has never trailed in this game. Hemingway goes inside, another entry pass that's taken away. Shot clock goes dark. Here's Merchant with a baseline drive. Can't find the cup, and that should do it. In his first year as the head coach of the Mountaineer women's basketball team, Mark Kellogg earns win number 15 by virtue of an 80-39 win over the Houston Cougars.